Sir, you not just have fought and seen war and terrorism, you have also and continue to look at disaster management. At this point, there is a high security alert that has gone through airports, railway stations, major cities, sensitive spots. What would be on the minds of those who have to handle the aftermath? You see, there are 3 or 4 buckets of responses right now. There is the investigation, but there is also to make sure that if this was terror, if it was terror, and I choose my words carefully because there is no official statement on it yet, it bears the markings of it, but we will wait for the government to tell us that. What would the government, what would agencies right now be most concerned about?
See, Barkha, when this kind of an action takes place, this kind of an event takes place, the first thing I would always look at that is this a diversionary? Because in these kind of cases, a planner, an adversarial
Uses the car bomb as a
yes,
decoy.
exactly, it's used as a decoy. All the attention, all the focus, as he's just now the boy was saying, 50 ambulances have reached there. The kind of hospitals are at the same time, agog with activity, and suddenly then start a series of things elsewhere. Now, this is what the security agencies have to be careful about. Right?
Yeah.
They have to make sure all their intelligence networks, their sources, everyone is on the alert at this particular time. In a city like Delhi, you can't survive without intelligence. The security of Delhi is through intelligence. And that's what I said right in the beginning. The intelligence agencies of India have kept India safe since 2008. And I hope and I pray that that is exactly what will continue to happen.
The images you see on your screen, and I'll come back to the diversionary for planning something more sinister point that you have flagged, but the images you're seeing on your screen are the Lal Killa metro station, and you can see shattered glass. This is where the entrance is to the metro station. The choice of assuming this is deliberate, planned, whether diversionary or not, you take a place of mass public rapid transit, public transport, crowded at all times. The Red Fort, crowded at all times. You choose a time, which is the eve of an election, right? And you use a car, which is an I-20, by the way. I wonder if you heard Home Minister saying we were thinking it's an eco van. He said, that's what I heard him. That's what I heard him say. I think I heard him right. He said it's an I-20 car. So maybe they've had updated information since the police commissioner spoke. That happens because there would have been a lot of cars there burning, and maybe this is what the Home Minister said. What do you think of where they have, whoever this is, whatever this is, crowded Red Fort right next to a metro station?
6:55 in the evening.
Peak time.
Is terrorist. This is terrorist time. Whoever chooses this kind of a thing. Anyone who's looking at Delhi knows 6 to 7 o'clock is peak traffic, peak congregation of people. Place like Red Fort, the metro station, the metro of Delhi, the amount of the density of population inside the metro itself, the people who are disgorging out from the station and getting inside the station at any time is huge. So obviously the effect is going to be very large, whoever has planned this out. Whether they intend to do something bigger, one can't say, still conjecture, as we are all talking about. But obviously it was, if it was a terrorist act, then obviously they have chosen this very carefully.
Yeah. When you saw these images, does it bring back a kind of deja vu of years gone by? As you said, the intelligence agencies, law enforcement agencies, government has kept the people of India safe. Jammu and Kashmir is different. It is a state which is torn by insurgency. But this since 26/11, I think this is the first major targeting of an Indian city of this kind that we're actually seeing. I have to ask you very cautiously, what happens now? And I don't want to hypothesize too much, but if this is established to be a terror attack, the Home Minister, by the way, is at a Lok Nayak hospital. Those images are on your screen. He's there to meet the injured. We do know that 30 people, maybe more, this is the figure we have, 30 people are injured, 10 have died. There is a fear that those casualty figures could rise because, again, as General Hasnain was saying, peak evening traffic near a metro station in a crowded bazaar designed for maximum impact. The car stops at a red light, which means other cars behind it are forced into the sort of the flames of the explosion. Sir, if it is established to be a terror attack, we are in the year of Pahalgam and Operation Sindoor. I must ask this question with great responsibility. What now?
See, first of all, Barkha, as far as other cities are concerned, after 26/11, the first part of your statement, the
Yeah,
last time it happened was in Pune in the German bakery. That was
that's
the
right.
last. That's
That's
just the
that. That's
last
right.
event which
That's right.
happened,
So
and
thank you for reminding me. Yes.
we have been absolutely safe since then.
Yeah.
Now, as to whether if this is a terrorist attack at all, then obviously I don't expect any knee-jerk reaction. The government of India is far too mature. The leadership of India is far too mature to do anything which is going to be rash. That I can assure you. They will think this through, and I think we should allow that time and that flexibility to the Indian leadership to allow this situation to build up correctly, get the right inputs. Intelligence agencies will be working overtime at this time, and once all the advisories are in, all the information is in, they will take their actions appropriately.
Let me ask you. I completely agree with you. I think it would be very irresponsible of us to force a reaction on, with so much missing information. I think you know how this is done. What would be happening right now? Would a timeline be assembled? Would there be what would be happening at the site? What would forensic investigators, the NSG and the NIA, be looking for at the site right now with all your years of experience, General Hasnain?
I would say yes, that's exactly what you said. Forensic evidence at this time, bits and pieces of it. I hope that area is completely cordoned off. Uh, for some time, it was not. Obviously, while the casualties were still there, that area could not be cordoned off. Once the casualties have been taken out, obviously that area completely gets cordoned because all this is going to come out as evidence tomorrow. Legally, this area must remain in the hands of the police, all the investigative agencies. We've got the NIA now, which is a very high quality kind of investigative agency. We didn't have it in 26/11, if you remember, at that particular time. Uh, the NIA has been responsible for busting most of the networks inside Jammu and Kashmir. This is one thing which I can say with confidence, that as far as financial networks are concerned in Jammu and Kashmir, this is something which used to proliferate at most times. It is the NIA which was responsible for actually busting this and neutralizing it completely. And they are the ones who will be involved very deeply at the moment in these investigations.
Sir, I want to play out an eyewitness statement, and then I want you to tell us what your fear is. I want to talk a little bit about your diversionary. I have seen this as a reporter in JNK. The MO used to be that you do a car bomb, you have everybody run towards the car bomb, and then you do the bigger blast somewhere else. And I know that this red alert that has gone through the cities of so many cities, railway stations, the airport, all airports, that is with that in mind. I want you to explain that to more people who haven't actually reported on terrorism and insurgency. What do you mean by diversionary?
See, I can take my experience back to Sri Lanka, from where I really learned the
Yeah.
the beginnings of the IED. That's where the IED really came out of. And then in Kashmir. In Kashmir, one saw it very clearly in a particular case. I remember on the road between Gandarbal and Sonamarg, where at a particular culvert, a minor IED, not a very major IED, a minor IED, which did not cause too much of a damage as such, but our vehicle was damaged.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone rushed to it because that's the first thought which goes, are there any casualties, etc. And then immediately, while people were rushing to it, on the road itself, on the tracks of that, there was a second IED. That was a much bigger IED. And that blasted off a gypsy. I remember three
Yeah.
of our soldiers died in that. Now, this is something which is very typical. In the case of the Anantnag, if you remember the Khanabal attack of 13th of January, the Fidain attack which took place on headquarters 1 sector RR, similar
Yeah.
thing which had happened. They had got into it and they had planned ambushes all over the place to see that they knew that responses and reactions will come to that place. So this is something which terrorists always plan out. Do something one place, not very big maybe. Even if it is big, they know that there is going to be a tremendous amount of response to it. The response is the one that they want to target thereafter. And that is what you have to be careful about.